We now have seen the England versus West Indies series. We have seen the England-West Indies series on. We've seen 2 test matches. The third is on. Do you now think that cricket has been able to sort of come up with a formula, a biosafety formula, that we can actually get back with our sport as we wait for a vaccine or therapeutics? And how excited are you about this resumption that we have seen in England, between England, West Indies, and so far there has not been any problems?
Yeah, I think it's extremely encouraging that cricket has restarted and resumed the way it has. And I think there has to be a huge appreciation when it comes to the efforts that are being taken by the broadcasters, by the ECB, by the West Indies Cricket Board, and all those involved in making that series possible. The arrangements would never have been easy. And I think what we are seeing is a quick and definitive adaptation to our new reality. The cricket has been of absolute high quality. The 2 sides have been extremely competitive and well matched, and we saw 2 wonderful test matches and the series poised at 1 test match win each. And I think, although it is, yes, disappointing that the crowds are not there, maybe the energy and the buzz that you have at a cricket ground when crowds are present and are joining in with the players in terms of, feeding off each other's energy, we do have to understand that where we are now is probably at the infancy of, in terms of these adaptations taking place. The biosecure playing areas, they are extremely health conscious and secure, safety precautions taken, even to the extent of changing the rules around the game and cricket for the moment. The banning of the use of saliva, the disinfection and sanitation of the ball, ensuring that all the players, broadcasters, anyone involved is highly conscious and responsible for their conduct in terms of ensuring the biosecurity of those playing areas, I think is absolutely commendable and necessary to ensure that players, the public and everyone and families all have the confidence that sport can continue despite COVID-19. I'm not sure how long we will have to keep this going.
Kumar, in fact, you can carry on. That was my next question, actually, to a degree that maybe for 6 months, maybe 9 months, maybe a year, because clearly science will win. We are seeing major developments across the world, therapy, vaccines, but we are clearly identifying a formula. I mean, we now know that the IPL, in all probability, will happen in the UAE. The BCCI is extremely gung-ho and keen. We now know the India-Australia series will happen. We have seen Sri Lankan players back in training, New Zealand players back in training, Australian players back in training, getting ready for England. But 2 questions to you, Kumar. One, this series also is important because of what it is standing for. Michael Holding and that in 5 minutes, which we are calling his best over bowled. Before that, you put out 8 tweets, if I remember from memory, 8 tweets talking about Black Lives Matter. For me, every life matters. That's the message also being given out. Your thoughts on how sport is making a real stand about this burning pandemic, which is close to 200, 300 years old?
I think it's a great statement that has been made by everyone involved in sport. The spark that has given rise to this is not just about what happened in the recent past, but also in terms of putting into context historic injustices and making everyone understand that there is no place for such attitudes, such mindsets, a thought process, a perspective anymore in today's world. And I think as sportsmen and women around the world have, over this, particularly this period where it's been in focus, made very strong, emotive and powerful statements. Michael Holding especially talking about personal and family experiences and saying that enough is enough, but also understanding that change It's not instant, but change is absolutely vital and necessary. And everyone has to not just talk about it, but participate and be active and action that change together. And I think being a cricketer that's played in the past in a country where, these issues have always been topical from a different context, from a different period of history, I think for us as Sri Lankans or for Indians or for any country, any nationality, this is such a topical and burning issue. And for us to be the best version of ourselves, to be at our best, it is absolutely necessary that we change our mindset. And we also understand the realities of history, not a disinfected, sanitized history, even the greatest figures that we revere and learn about in our history books, to teach ourselves and our children who they really were, not just what they've done.